Three things that buyers want in their home: media room right off of a game room that is connected to a living room with very tall ceilings. This one has all three. Check this one out. Hey everyone, Raj Sahu here, realtor in Austin, Texas, back with another model home walkthrough. Today we're going through the Riverdale plan with PulteHomes. This plan is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, 2,900 square feet, depending on what structural upgrades you do, which we'll certainly get into. And it's a 2-story plan that I think opens up really well. And we're going to showcase that by going right to the back of the home and showing this living room, which I think opens up really well, especially for homes that are built on this type of lot, which is usually built on a 45-foot wide lot. You don't usually get this expansive of a room. Take a look at how large that couch is, and then take a look at the open to the second story in this living room. Love the space in here. It's something that we'll definitely circle back to here in a second. But first, I want to go back to the front of the home where there is a study, and we'll also show this kitchen, which I think is very open, and this dining area that's kind of right behind me. And this is a new model home, one of Pulte's newest model homes that are in this area. And I'm not surprised that they chose this floor plan. It's become one of the most popular floor plans built in the north and northwest part of Austin. So really good layout and definitely lots of structural upgrades that are usually offered. So we're going to cover that here by going to the front of the home, where they have shown as a study that would normally have double doors going into it, and then a powder bathroom right outside of it. Now, one thing to note, a structural upgrade, if you are building this from scratch, that's usually offered, is to turn this bathroom into a full bathroom, and then that study that we're looking at on the left side into a bedroom that would obviously have a closet. Now, this is not shown as a study, of course. Pulte is just showing what they do behind the walls for their craftsmanship. You see the warranty on the left side. But as a study, usually double doors going into it, and obviously you could put a desk in here. There'll be plenty of room. Or again, if you wanted a second bedroom downstairs instead of just the owner's bedroom downstairs, then this would be a great option to turn this into a bedroom and a full bathroom. Now, one thing to note, if you are watching this in 2022, summer of 2022, right now Pulte and some of their neighborhoods are picking the structural upgrades. So you want to be aware of that, but just ask, when they'll be bringing back structural upgrades that you can actually choose if you really prefer that second bedroom down. Because to my knowledge, they're building this with the study down instead of the bedroom option. As you can tell there, lots of great storage under the stairwell. Pulte being a national builder, they really know how to use their space really well. And then coming back to this kitchen, I love this kitchen. Again, especially when you look at the other floor plans that are offered on this type of lot. Some of the upgrades that you can do here if you're building from scratch. I like that chevron pattern for the backsplash going all the way up to the ceiling. Vent hood, I think, is a big factor that for a lot of inventory homes, for people that don't want that microwave above the stovetop and your traditional built-in oven, not a built-in oven, the kind of oven and stovetop are right next to each other. That has been something that I found a lot of buyers are bringing up as an issue. It makes it feel maybe like they're in an apartment or something like that. I think that's a great upgrade option that you can do. And then as you can tell, lots of pantry space for this amount of square footage. You have the walk-in pantry, and then off of the kitchen, you have this mud room. That door on the right side would give you access to a 2-car garage. And then in the mud room, I know they have a built-in here from the builder. I actually find some of those built-in cabinets and bench areas are a little bit expensive. Probably something you can do aftermarket if the price is way too high. And then coming into the laundry, fairly typical laundry size, I would say. Nothing to really comment there. I like that it's away from the kitchen, away from the common areas, and can be closed off with that mud room in between. Heading over to the dining room, I like the amount of windows that are off of this wall. Really opens up the space. Even if you're close by to a neighbor, like that neighboring model home is probably about 10 feet away, it still gives enough space for some light in there. And that was a 6-seater table in that dining room. So still a pretty good amount of space, even though dining, living, kitchen is kind of all connected here. This is probably my favorite part. I think this is underrated, where there's an inset for the TV and the TV stand. When you have a lot of people walking through, especially to access the back patio, and you'll see in a second the owner's bedroom, that inset is great to have. And then take a look at how much space is here. That couch is massive. They have a chase on the left side. You have the open to the second story. I love that wall design that they put in, just like a simple shiplap wall. And I really like that living room. I always find compromising on your living room is not a good idea. It's probably going to be an area that you spend the most amount of time in. Living room and kitchen is kind of where everybody's at these days. So always a good idea to find something that you really like. And I find a lot of people like that living room. Heading out to the backyard, what they did extended off the patio, kind of where that dining table is. That's just something model specific. I don't see really builders ever doing anything like that. And I would say that the sizing of this yard is fairly typical. Of course, there'd be a fence there between both homes, but this being a model home, they didn't really have anything there. But most of the lots that I see this Riverdale plan built on are fairly similar in size to this. Of course, that depends on the lot. And then I don't know why they didn't do open railings. Usually, most model homes are going to pick like every upgrade that's out there. I think open railings is key for this type of plan when you have that open to the second story. Otherwise, it becomes a lot of drywall. So I have a couple buyers that bought a similar plan to this, and they both did open railings, and I think that was a great idea. And then on the back of the home, as you see here, we have the owner's bedroom. Love the tray ceiling. They did a bay window upgrade on the back wall there to add a fourth window. Adds a little bit of a curve, which we're going to see here again. And I really like this owner's bedroom. Good amount of space for the amount of square footage that you have in this plan. And that's also an interesting chandelier. I'm actually finding some people realizing instead of putting can lights in the owner's bedroom, when you want to get to sleep at night or you're winding down, just kind of having a light that's not as bright. And sometimes those chandeliers might have more of like a yellow light that you can kind of put in there to kind of calm things down at night. So I am seeing a little bit more of that now that people are back to designing their own homes and kind of building from scratch. And then heading over to the owner's bathroom here, keep in mind that's a frame shower. So one thing that people do when they walk model homes is they judge a builder based on kind of like the upgrades that are in there. Keep in mind some of these builders, like for example Pulte in this instance, they're just trying to give you something that's a little bit more realistic. Sure, they'll put some design elements in there, like a nice shiplap wall you saw in the living room, or like that chandelier you saw in the owner's bedroom, but they're not going to over upgrade too much. And sometimes I see buyers walk homes that are just completely over upgraded, and then they think, oh, it's because that builder is amazing. It just could be that model home is really overdone, and sometimes builders don't want to do that and give you an unrealistic impression of what the home is actually going to look like. In this case, I actually think they under upgraded a little bit, definitely with the frame shower and even just like the countertops in this bathroom. Not that it's anything bad, it's just I do see usually a little bit higher end upgrades in some of these model homes. But like we talked about, not that there's anything wrong with that. I think they're just trying to be a little bit more realistic with what most buyers are doing in their homes. And that's always a good question to ask, by the way, before you actually get into a home. Try to figure out what the averages are for upgrades. What are most homeowners doing? You don't want to be that homeowner who under upgrades and then tries to resell that home in 4 to 5 years only to find out that you probably under upgraded it and it looks a little bit more outdated. So knowledge is power, as we always say, and trying to get that information up front before you make some big decisions is definitely a good idea. Heading over to the second story, there are some structural upgrades that I'll point out here that I think are really well done, and this is a big reason why this plan is so popular. First is a look at the game room. The game room is good amount of size for this amount of square footage. I would say the tough part about this game room is that where would you put a TV? So there's windows on one wall, and then you kind of have to put it in that hallway area that would have a lot of walk-through traffic between the media room and the bedrooms. And I think the toughest part is if you don't do a media room, which we'll see in a second, your TV's kind of on that wall, and I just think it's a little bit awkward. And that's why I think this media room upgrade is fantastic. So many homeowners have been putting this in as a structural upgrade. When Pulte started picking the structural upgrades or started building inventory homes where they definitely pick all the upgrades in that case, they've been doing the media room almost every single time because it's so popular. And one thing I'll mention is about this media room, I like how it's laid out, where you can kind of get, as you can tell, kind of like a couch on one side and then TV on the other. No windows in the room, and then you can still kind of close it off. So if you're watching a movie, it's really loud. Somebody's sleeping in another bedroom. I like how it's private from the other areas of the home. And also, there is another builder where the media room upgrade cuts out the open to the second story, and I hate that because everybody wants to open to the second story in the living room. So I like that Pulte allows you to get that media room. You still get open to the second story, and then we still have 3 other bedrooms on this side of the home. So really well thought out plan. Again, it's a very popular plan. I've even seen a couple builders kind of mimic this plan because they've seen the popularity grow with what Pulte's offering. So here we are at the other bedroom. So there's 3 bedrooms upstairs. You still have the walk-in closet. Now this is another structural upgrade that you can do by adding a full bathroom on the second floor. I highly recommend doing this if it's within budget. The simple reason why is if you didn't, you'd have 3 bedrooms sharing 1 bathroom. And that's never a great idea. I think both from a livability standpoint, if you have kids or guests using any of these bedrooms upstairs, sharing all 1 bathroom is tough. But I think the second part to that would be for resale. So you're just so much more marketable when you have a couple bathrooms up here, especially with the amount of space here, 3 bedrooms, game room, possibly a media room. And so I think that's a great idea, again, if it's within budget. Now, while we go to these other 2 bedrooms that we're in, split by a full bathroom, I'll mention that if you have been bidding recently with Pulte and have had a tough time getting into these homes, keep in mind things are starting to calm down. I'm actually in this neighborhood of Horizon Lake. That's actually the lake in the background. This community is in the heart of Leander. It's surrounded by future development. If you Google Leander Northline or Leander Springs, you'll get an idea of what I mean. And then also this floor plan is built in another community called Santa Rita Ranch, which is very popular in South Liberty Hill. My point in sharing that with you is earlier this year, there were so many people bidding. The bids became ridiculous. I didn't actually have anybody win bids. I think I had over 10 people probably bidding at one point. And I'm glad. I just told them, being very upfront, I think the bidding doesn't make any sense. It's starting to get very overpriced. And I'm glad I didn't have anybody win, because now I think you can do a little bit better with some of these homes in those areas. Don't know why they did the bathtub surround like that. Usually there's a tile that they'll do. Even a lot of builders include like a square tile all the way around. So I rarely see that bathtub surround. That's a little bit old school, I would say. And then this is the last bedroom on the second floor. So 3 bedrooms up, 1 bedroom down. But again, if you decided to change that study downstairs into a bedroom, and then that would make the powder bath into a full bathroom, this home actually becomes a 5 bedroom, 4 full bathrooms. So very substantial in terms of what you could do on a 45-foot wide lot. And I keep saying that because you don't see too many builders pack this amount of square footage in here. And I think Pulte pulls it off really well. I also love their decor. Check out that yak. And then, these are the random things that I see walking through model homes. There is another yak in a bathtub. So, of course, I need to capture that because that is definitely keeping with the Austin vibe, which is keep Austin weird. And I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's going to be it for the Riverdale plan with PulteHomes. If you want to see another Pulte model home walkthrough, click on the thumbnail on your screen. And then if you watched this far, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of model home walkthroughs of homes all around Texas. And I always enjoy hearing from you. Your feedback is great to hear, especially as I go through so many of these model home walkthroughs. So comment below on what you like or did not like about this plan. And as always, hope this helps. Take care, everybody.